I've always found memories bittersweet. Ever since I was little, I remember my biggest fear growing up was forgetting what it was like being a kid. I always felt like I would forget all those little moments of playing on the playground, of being with my friends, of the calm days and the peaceful moments when I became a frantic, harried, running around adult. My solution for that at the time was to collect everything. I became a hoarder. I collected feathers, rocks, pine needles from Christmas trees, and I'd take a little pen and tape and date them. So I had this trunk that fit under my bed, and I would collect all the things. When I moved away for college, I learned the art of purging because I realized that there was a lot of things I didn't really necessarily want to bring with me and to keep. Today, I want to reflect on how I now keep memories. I found less cluttering ways of capturing memories. One life-changing moment in particular also helped me reflect on how there are other ways to capture memories that I haven't been so great at doing. So if you want to join me on this journey today, maybe get inspired about how you keep your memories or simply reflect on little moments that you want to remember now and ways of how you might want to do that for yourself, then join me today on this journey. Hi, I'm Leah Fetterhoff, a user experience designer, writer, and life strategist, and I want to inspire you to thrive in work and life. So first, I wanted to cover one of the things I do now to capture memories. And it started the summer before I headed off to college. I had a babysitting gig. And after that babysitting gig, the parents of the child I was watching gave me a gift of a blank journal. I actually have it still today. It's followed me everywhere. And it's this art is by a woman named Flavia. And that in itself has been an inspiration. Flavia's art and her personal branding, similar to how, if you know Lisa Frank, and how she had this personal brand that permeated trapper keepers, backpacks, folders, everything. I remember as a kid growing up. Similar, like Flavia had that same style of journals, notebooks, and all that stuff. But I digress. Anyway, that was one little cool tidbit. But I had this blank journal, and on the first day of college, I started to cultivate this habit of writing stuff down. Moments, memories, things that were weighing on my mind. And I was really good about updating it daily. So I would write about what literally happened that day and then maybe some key takeaways I wanted my future self to remember. Fast forward to now, I'm not as great about writing every day, but what I will do is maybe write once or twice a week with the intention of capturing more of the season I am in my life or any milestones or little moments that I want to remember. So it becomes more of a high-level summary of the things I did in that snapshot in time. And there have been times where my entries have weeks or even months in between. But I still feel that call, like when something happens, I think it's that same feel like, oh, I want to tell a friend. I end up, telling myself, oh, I want to write that in my journal so I don't forget. And journaling has been that way for me. In January of last year, I lost a really close friend of mine. She passed away in her sleep, and she left behind her husband and two little ones. And I always go back to that, which was a whole grieving period in itself. I still think about her every day. And the reason I bring Valerie's memory up is she was really good at capturing moments, taking photos, taking videos, sharing them on Facebook or wherever. And Facebook that does that thing where it reminds you like, hey, 10 years ago or 5 years ago this happened, and resurfaces those videos and photos. Between college and where, up to where I was in life last year, I realized I haven't been very good at taking photos or videos. And I'm forever grateful that she did. She recorded things like my baby shower, bachelorette parties, milestone birthdays, like when I turned 30, and even like mundane moments, going to a soccer game or out to dinner. And I leaned on her a lot for those photos and videos. And she was just so natural at doing that, and, making copies for me. So I would have a copy too. Because I wasn't so great at it, right? Like, I mean, I definitely realized that after losing her, that you can't take those little moments, those in betweens for granted. And I'm forever grateful that I have those photos and videos and that she's in them. And I have videos where I can hear her laugh or, see her smile. And, the thought also crosses my mind, right, of how unfair it is to go at that age. Every day that I'm with my family, that I see my kids, growing one day older, learning one new thing, it is trying to reconcile, missing her and like feeling so frustrated that she can't experience those same things, while also acknowledging, right, that each of us will never know when our time is up and when we'll be, leaving this world. So it's also made me more cognizant of taking those photos and videos and really just soaking in even the little moments I have, and making sure that I'm enjoying, right? Enjoying the journey that is life. And regardless of how crappy a day is, whether you wake up the next morning, right, there's a clean slate, a relatively new way to approach things, or even the next hour, like if you pull yourself, reset, you don't have to be caught in the same cycle or mindset, right? If you're not happy with it, there are ways to really, detach yourself from the situation and approach it in a new way, right? It's almost kind of like, starting over in a way that is more aligning to you. And it gets hard at times, right? I mean, we're all human, but I think we tend to forget, I know I do, that what feels like the biggest deal now or whatever I'm focused on, it's really one tiny thing in the grand scheme of it all. And my time is better spent in doing the things and filling up my days with who I love and what I enjoy doing. And I think, if you listen back to my last video about losing my dad, it's that same way. The lesson that I found with losing Valerie is to really soak up all these little moments and take the video, take the photo, and there are different ways of reliving those memories, right? Sharing it with other people so that one day they can share it back with you. I've started to do this more, and I've noticed my kids love going through my photo and video reel and rewatching themselves do stuff like 3 months ago, And it's so entertaining because I don't really know if like they have memories of what they did in those videos, but they're able to recall it and then tell me. And whether or not like that is their authentic memory or it's because they saw themselves doing it randomly, they just bring it up. Like, remember that time we went to that restaurant? Or remember that time, so and so did this. And, it's nice to not only be the only person keeping those memories. So that's another learning I had. Anyway, yeah, I mean, going back, right, to a combination of journal entries, finding, old videos and photos. I remembered a lot about inside jokes that only lasted a year, or mundane moments like shopping together at Nordstrom Rack. And you never know, right? Like what memories will all of a sudden become more meaningful or more prominent until you reflect and look back at them. And I can't journal everything. I'm not going to journal every single thing that happens. And that's why it's nice to be able to remember to share that with other people. So one other thing I'll just mention, taking this trip down memory lane, and also how might I help my future self, and not me anymore, right? But my kids growing up, help them remember the memories that I have of them, right? One other thing I started to do is, since my son was born, is, it's probably backwards, but it says letters to my baby. Like right now, read later, a treasure forever. And since he was born, I started to write throughout the years, 1 or 2 letters here and there. And what they do is like, when I wrote it, and then when he can open it. So I have one here, like I wrote it on his 4th birthday party, and then like open it on your 24th birthday. So 20 years from now. And I see like, different ways I can do that. It as a reflection of who I am now. And what I hope he sees in the future is that I'm also still growing, still learning, and that there's little moments that I observe in him. And for me, I'm curious, like, will he still grow up? Like, what things will still hold true when he becomes his own adult or adult self? Yeah, but I think those are just different ways, right? Without hoarding or cluttering, on how to capture memories and the importance of sharing those memories with other people as they happen. So there you have it. A life-changing moment when I lost my friend Valerie, and the lessons that I found out of that is just capturing and sharing those moments and memories in different ways. And they don't have to take up that much space, like physical space, like what I used to do growing up. But the journaling, the talking about things, sending photos and videos to other people, talking to other people about those same memories, right? Like when I talked about Valerie to my sister-in-law or other friends who knew her, we see different sides or different, memories of her life. And, I think it helps keep her alive. You can't help but think about, like I can't help but think about my own mortality, or, like my kids, and what will they remember of me? And I mean, the best we can do is really live where we are here in this moment. So wanted to share that with you if it inspires anything in you. And what have you learned through the loss of someone else, or reflecting on your own life so far? And are there ways that you keep memories or moments alive that I haven't covered here? If so, leave me a comment below, because I'm always looking for less cluttering ways to still like be able to hold near and dear those memories and even the in-between moments of life. So if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. And if you want more inspiration to thrive in work and life, go to swishie.com and sign up for my newsletter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Swishie. If you enjoyed this, subscribe and share with friends.